Hi, and welcome to December. I know it's a little early for December, but we are going to be talking about December astrology in this video. Mark, how are you doing today?
I'm just thoroughly, totally enjoying Mercury retrograde conjunct Mars and Sagittarius. It's a never-ending clown show.
It is a never-ending clown show, and I apologize to everybody that watches us that I wasn't able to get the notification out earlier, but hopefully our stream is a lot better than it was. We were using a different streaming software. Now we're using Google Meet. I think Mark, you sound great. I hope I sound good. Everybody can let us know. I have to find out how to look at the chat too, so in case somebody messages us, but we'll figure that out. But I'm excited to see the end of the year. The end of the year is always interesting. What is your take on December overall?
So, where did I go? There we go. How about that? Yeah, so I mean, I think the highlight is the big thing is going to be the Neptune station on the 10th, and now I'm kind of hearing the Atlas spaceship or whatever is maybe supposed to be here around then.
I don't even know what that is. I've seen it all over the place, but I've not looked into it. What? Are aliens coming?
There's a thing heading towards us, and nobody can decide what it is. That they thought it was a meteor, and then some people are saying it might be an alien spaceship, and then of course everything on both sides of that equation has run wild and expanded. So it was originally supposed to be here in November, but I would say from looking at this, I'd say around December 10th. It's probably going to be a whole bunch of nothing, just like everything else. It just ends up being a whole bunch of nothing.
Yeah, just like the end of, wait, was it 2012, the end of the world that happened? Or wait, was that 2000, January 1st? 2000? I lived through a few end of the world, so like I'm just saying, like
yeah.
You did too.
It's almost boring at this point.
Yeah, we're getting that, we're showing our age.
Yeah.
Because we lived through a few, it just is what it is. Yeah, so that's interesting because I did hear and I thought, well, this is just like clickbait, and I didn't even bother to look at it. I like alien something A1 Atlas. Is that what it's called? Atlas or something? I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm just like Atlas I didn't even look.
31 or Atlas 13 or something.
Oh, okay.
It's one of the they were saying it was a meteor or an asteroid traveling through space, but it doesn't seem to act like either of those things. So,
and it's long, right? Not like, I know asteroids aren't circular. That's part of an asteroid, is that they're not like round like planets are.
Yeah, just adding to the confusion. It's not shaped like a meteor or asteroid.
Interesting. And like we don't know what it is. So that happens on the 10th, you said?
That's my guess. It was originally supposed to be here sometime in November, but it seems to like keep getting pushed back. I don't know why this close to it they keep pushing the dates out, but
well, we will find out. It's interesting.
I think there's going to be a giant clown driving it.
Oh, I definitely think that's a real thing.
I think they've already sent their people here. Their clown people are here already. They've infiltrated our society. It's gonna be the head. It's gonna be the head end clown boss that's gonna be driving it.
Like, oh my god! Like in like Super Mario, when you get to the very big boss and he's like throwing fireballs at you, and ghosts are like, whoo, you know, oh my gosh, now I'm really showing my age. Maybe that's a thing from like the past though. I don't know. I found the chat. Did you find the chat? Hi, Scott and Christina. Thanks for joining us. Hopefully we sound good because we're using different software. Let us know. I think you sound great, Mark. I'm not having any hiccups there, which is great.
Yeah, you sound much better than it has the
Wow.
last.
And the crazy part is I was paying for that service to go live. And this one is one I used for my teaching. So I'm like, will it work? It's Google Meet and it does work, which is wonderful. So, hey, that worked out perfect. Okay. So yeah. So your big thing is what, like December 10th, because it's Neptune station?
Yeah, there's a Neptune station. And so the weird part is like we have kind of this big, there's a lot of stuff in Sag the first half of the month.
Mm-hmm.
And then once we get to the second half, then things start moving into Capricorn. So to me, that the first half of the month is much crazier. Once we get to the middle part, once we get to December 15th and Mars enters Capricorn, then I think things will potentially calm down for a little bit. But I think, yeah, I don't know where the chat is.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, I think the chat is, well, I'm looking at the inside of YouTube, so maybe that's the problem. Not
Okay.
exactly sure. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's fine. I don't usually pay much attention to it anyways.
Right. I got it.
Sure.
Hey, okay. We do have some people in here though. So thanks, Scott, Christina. It's great. They said we sound great too, which is awesome.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
That's
So, okay. So yeah, I mean, it should be exciting to see what happens. Neptune goes station direct at the very last degree of the zodiac, which is interesting too. And that's what happens to be on your sun too. Like, no big deal, right?
Yeah. This will be the, what is it? I'll get I think the fifth and final hit of Neptune on my sun. Like I got extra um um I lost where I was going. I don't even know what I was saying.
Well, fair.
Which should be par for the course at this point.
Right. I hear you on that. So,
I got extra hits of Neptune on my sun.
yes.
Because the first time it like stopped like right almost exact on my sun, and then we had the dip into Aries earlier this year where it hit my sun again, and then this will be we just had the fourth hit, and then after Neptune goes direct, that'll be the fifth hit. So
it seems so, and it seems crazy. Neptune on your sun. I had Uranus, so it's past now, but Uranus on my ascendant, and it felt like it was there forever, although it wasn't there forever. It was only like 2 years because it kept going back and forth, like the retrograde and direct. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad. And I mean, I know it's back in Taurus now because of Taurus rising. I'm like, thank God it doesn't go back to my Taurus degree, my Taurus rising degree, because yeah, it's enough. It's been enough of those retrograde, those outer planets, when they connect with your certain planets or angles, they're impactful. They're like a big deal.
Yeah.
They really are. So yeah. So let's talk about December, other than just the overall. In the beginning of December, we have full moon in Gemini, and full moon in Gemini happens at 13. 13 Gemini, Sag. So if you have any planets 13 Gemini, Sag, that's going to be affecting you even more. What are you thinking about the full moon?
Yeah. So the way I look at them is like the full moons and the fixed signs are like, I think those are probably the most intense ones because it's fixed energy and it has like more of an impact. And then the full moons and the cardinal signs, I think cardinal signs are kind of a call to action. So there's usually like something that needs to be addressed or needs to be started or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I think with the mutable signs, like this one in Gemini Sag, I think that it's like uh, tends to be more of like the train running wild off the track. Like it's just kind of ends up being like unfiltered chaos because I think that the full moons just kind of it brings things to a head. And when it's in the mutable signs, it just kind of like everything just kind of goes crazy.
So you're feeling like everything's going to just go crazy?
Yeah, it just gets more and more. The train goes off the tracks. Like I don't even know where the track is anymore.
Maybe they're building a new one or something.
Yeah, there's we're trying to catch the track in the parallel universe that Atlas is going to bring to us.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
It's the Atlas track.
Yeah, it's interesting. So okay, and that's the prelude. So and did you look at the other planets, other things going on during the full moon, or is that kind of not that exciting?
I Oh, you know what? What is? Oops. Oops. Sorry, you got the serious music there.
Oh, you heard
um.
that? Oh, I didn't hear that. I just turned on Sirius too.
Oh, you did.
No, I think it doesn't like share the sound when
Oh, okay.
I don't know. It's
Good.
technology
That's
has
good.
not been my friend lately, so I don't know what to say about technology anymore. It's advancing so much. It's unbelievable to me though. I've like I'm a little shocked at the advancements and how quickly it's been going on. It's almost a little scary. Just because so
Yeah.
much is changing quickly.
Yeah. No, I mean, we're going to be. I mean, this is.
I'm pulling up the new moon now, or
We're
the full moon.
Yeah. So at the beginning of December, there at the full moon, we have a water grand. We have another different water grand trine. That's uh, the sun will have moved out. So we had one with Mars in Scorpio, Jupiter in Cancer, Saturn, Neptune in Pisces. And then Mars moved out of Scorpio into Sag. So now we have a water grand trine with the sun in Scorpio, making a trine to Jupiter, Saturn, and Neptune. Then after that leaves, Mercury's going to retrograde back and re-enter Scorpio, and so that'll be in the water grand trine. And then we're going to have Venus, which is in Scorpio now, but it's going to be up into the water grand trine. So like we've got these weird set of what with Jupiter, Saturn, and Neptune all in the late degrees of Cancer and Pisces. We've got this whole procession of different Scorpio planets moving in and completing the water grand trines. And so like Scorpio is transformation. So I think too that's part of what like this year didn't even exist. Like there's no way it's the middle of November There's no way. Like it was just like yesterday was like August 1st. Like it's just from September on, it's just like every day is like 2 seconds.
Right. I feel like really weird because I might have said this to you before, but I set my phone with an alarm for 2:15. I don't know, 6 months ago for something I had to do, and I was like reminding myself, and then I never turned it off, every day it just goes on, and I left it on because I'm like, it kind of snaps me back into like, hey, it's 2:15. What have you done today? Like, have you gotten
Right.
half your day done? Because that's like a half a day mark ish for me, And
Right.
yeah, because I feel like every day is just, before I know it, it's like getting dark. I mean, I understand the time change does that to us, but at the same time, it's like I went to my mother's last night at like 6:30, and I'm like, call my brother on the way there to tell him I was going over there. It's her birthday today, by the way. If you're watching, happy birthday, mommy. she's 25. I mean 29. I mean she's 30. Yeah, that's right. But anyway, I went over there, and I'm like, call my brother on the way over, and I'm like, what time is it? It feels like 10 o'clock at night, so it was pitch black. And he's like, it's 6:30. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Because I had to go to the store also. And I'm like, I need to make sure that the store doesn't close first, because I thought it was so late, but it was.
Yeah.
It's unreal. It's really unbelievable how much time has flown, like so quickly, even throughout the day. Do you think that's really like Neptune and the Neptune energy being at the last degrees of Pisces? Or do you think it's just like Neptune, Saturn?
I think it's mostly the Saturn. Well, it's a little bit the Neptune because like nobody knows what's going on.
Right.
But then like Saturn time is a Saturn creation.
Right.
That's how man used something to measure the time out, and so that's a Saturn rulership. Time is a Saturn rulership. So that's how we kind of structure our days, work weeks, yada yada, business hours, that kind of stuff. So I think with Saturn, because we're at the very end of, this will be the last run of last little bit of Saturn and Pisces. So like next, I think February, Saturn moves into Aries for the next 2.5 years, and that nothing's going to slow down until the end of April of 2028. Once we get into like really starting now. It's just going to go so fast. But I think that the Saturn in Pisces is Saturn doesn't really function that good in Pisces for like timekeeping and keeping on task with things. It's more of, I think Saturn in Pisces is more of a good free flow energy, but like it's hard to keep track of what day or time or anything it is.
Yeah.
what flavor of clowns we have today. It's just
That does make sense too, because the Saturn is the time, the timekeeper. Right. That actually does make sense. So the both of them together, it's like this illusion of time, right? So there's where it's at, the illusion of time with Saturn and Neptune. I don't know, or that there isn't time. I don't know.
and it's weird that the kind of the switch between Saturn and Pisces and Saturn and Aries is like Saturn and Pisces is just like timelessness, formlessness, and like Saturn and Aries is just like the time goes even faster, but it's more of a like an aggressive form of just like you just burn through every day because there's just like so much stuff that has to be done and so much stuff going on.
Mm-hmm.
So they in a way they kind of have the same effect, but because of different things.
Right, for different reasons. Right.
Yeah.
Interesting. Wow. So you're right. I was looking at the grand trine that is going on actually right during the full moon. The grand trine is like, it's pretty strong right there. It's Saturn. Saturn's at 25 Pisces, Jupiter 24 Cancer, and then the Mercury's at 22 Scorpio, but it's like moving through closer.
Yeah.
It there. Yes. Yeah, I know. It's interesting. Okay. And then, I mean, then we have Neptune station direct at 29 Pisces. That happens on the 10th. We talked about that a little bit. Is that what, other than Atlas, are you expecting?
Yeah. So I have found, certainly with the last 5 years, this is probably good always, but especially the last 5 years, is there's always some false narrative or fake news story that happens around the Neptune stations. Because like the bad side of Neptune is addiction, confusion, uh, misguided efforts, you know, things, I think deception, I think, is a good phrase. There's almost always some news story that is just like meant to like pull at your heartstrings or your brain or something, that, and they turn it into this big giant like fiasco, and really like none of it ends up being true. Usually it just ends up being like a big psyop. So that's kind of the um getting that's kind of where there's the thin line between like being separate from the world and not getting sucked into all the entrapments, but yet having to keep your eye on things so that you know what's going on, so you don't like get killed or something. Like there's kind of a fine line there with it, because like, and it's just the number. I mean, and for me anyways, this always happens during November, but I just see like tons of just like people and animals and stuff like transitioning over. It's just like it's hard to hold your physical form during this period, and especially with with Neptune at 29 Pisces, it's even more. um I can see a lot of people not really dealing with it that good.
Right, right. It's almost, and like people get a little bit wrapped up in those illusions that happen and that are going like on the mainstream, like in the whatever they watch, however they watch it. So it's interesting how, I mean, we all get a little bit like taken by that, but some are definitely more susceptible to those things than others. And I think that's always good to kind of keep that in the back of your mind, that what you are seeing might not be real. And I mean, with what's going on in terms of AI and everything nowadays, it's like, I saw God, I can never remember his name. He's the physicist that like hates astrology. What's his name? Neil Tyson deGrasse, is that his name?
Yeah, Neil.
Yeah, he did this
deGrasse
video, and he was like, it was total like deep fake kind of video, and it was like him saying something about the earth being flat, and I'm like, wait, what? I like just clicked on it, and I'm like, what the heck? And then the real him goes, yeah, that wasn't even me, that was just like some AI video. And I'm like, geez. He's like, I had friends that even said something about like, that they saw him on TikTok or something, and we're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you're saying this, and then called him up, like his friends, and they were like, he's like, that's not me. It's just amazing because you don't know what's real and not. And that's so fascinating when you think about, it being connected to what the astrology is going on, what's going on in the astrology with Neptune and Saturn. You know, I always strongly felt like Saturn is like making things real, concrete, physical, time-based, right? Reality-based. And then like the Saturn, that's Saturn, and then Neptune. I think I said Neptune first, but Saturn is doing all that, making things real, time-based, you know, like concrete. And Neptune is like, are you sure? For real?
Right.
So yeah, that's been, and I mean, and it's also about fighting for ideals, fighting for the ideals of people, and they're going to like the nth degree. I mean, we see that everywhere, you know, all the stuff that goes on with that in this modern moment. It's just wild. It really is wild. But yeah.
Yeah, I've been, I know I said this probably 100 times before, but the main, I don't know why this thing won't sit straight. Like the main thing I totally even forgot. I forgot what I was going to say now. Go on.
What else? I mean, have you looked to see what else is going on like during the 10th of December? I'm gonna pull up the wheel for that, like around that time. I mean, I know you have been, but I'm curious around the station, if there's anything like big going on. Let's see. I know you use
Well,
it, Morris.
the one, yeah. Well, I meant to. So the funny thing, I guess this is dipping back into the last couple of days of November, but like right before the full moon, Saturn and Mercury both stationed direct within like a day of each other. And both of them in water signs, and they're trying each other. So it's kind of interesting, like leading up to the full moon, we've got the Mercury and Saturn stations. So that should like start things moving forward again.
Mm-hmm.
But then we've got the Neptune station on the 10th. And so then that kind of right when you can start get moving again and stuff, it's like there's the Neptune station, and it like, to me, that like it looks like a trap. Because usually by the time you get to the end of Mercury retrograde, like everyone is just like mentally, you know, done and frazzled, because all they've done is like fix mistakes for the previous 3 weeks. But then you get going, and then you've got the Neptune station right after the Mercury and Saturn station energy finally start, you know, they start to get to where they're moving back to normal speed. And then like you get this curveball at the end with the Neptune station. So it's like, again, I'm gonna be I'm skeptical of anything that I will see on the news around December 10th. I'm skeptical that that's true or what's really happening. So this is the third point a few minutes ago that I forgot what I was talking about. So that's kind of like the perfect, like, if you were going to stage a fake alien invasion, or a fake big psyop type thing, you would want, if you were wanting to fool the masses, you would do it on or very close to a Neptune station, because the ability of people to see through things is not very strong. Like Neptune's great for like music and artistic stuff and things like that, you know. But like for like deciphering what's really going on, like you've really got to be like, you don't have to be an ascended master, but you have to know what's going on, because I mean, it happens all the time. There's going to be some big dumb news story that comes out that is going to be just totally false, and usually there's multiple ones. But just anything that comes around out on December 10th in that area, I'm just gonna be super skeptical of.
Well, maybe the Atlas was waiting for December 10th to actually, like, you know.
They put the parking brake on for a couple
Yeah,
weeks
it
to
slowed down a little
make sure they hit the, yeah, make sure they hit that date.
bit. I think that the world. Have you noticed too? Like, this is something I've been noticing, that like almost I mean, I've always noticed this throughout my life, but almost like you be mindful of what you think, because what you're thinking now might happen in 10 seconds. Like,
Right.
do you know what I
Right.
mean? Yeah, I've noticed that too. It's really kind of strange. Yeah. Yeah. It's wild. I don't know. Okay, so next thing we're going to talk about is the December 11th, Mercury enters Sagittarius. So Mercury enters Sagittarius, and it's direct, right? So yeah, it's direct at the end of November. So that's actually a thing. And Mercury enters into Sagittarius like 3 weeks or so. Mercury, what are you thinking about Mercury and Sagittarius? The impact.
Yeah, so this is gonna be the second entry of Mercury into Sag, because it went in on Wednesday, October 29th is when Mercury entered Sag, and then it got up to like 6.5 degrees, and then it went retrograde.
Mm-hmm.
So this will be the second period. So it's possible that things that were happening a couple days before Halloween pop back up, because that's going to be the degrees there that Mercury is going to be at in Sag. So it's um so you know I know people like to say that Sagittarius has to do with the truth and speaking the truth, and on one level it does, but also the truth is subjective, because two opposites can be true at the same time. Like, you could say it's really hot right now because you're in Florida, and I could say it's really cold right now because I'm in Ohio, and while those things are opposite, both things are true. So it kind of depends on where you're sitting or what your experiences are. You two different things which appear to be opposites can be true at the same time.
So that's what you think Mercury and Sag is that, like, there could be many truths, basically, like
Yes, you
it's
have to
subjective.
really, yeah. I just even like politically, and things that would appear opposites are not always opposites.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they're both just it depends where you're sitting as to which one is true.
That actually does make sense, because I feel like, I mean, it's just, you gave a perfect example. Me here, you there. We have different experiences, but we're still experiencing reality in a certain way. So it does actually make sense. It's interesting too. So Mercury moving through Sag, that's giving us maybe an opportunity to think about how other people are perceiving the world too, not just your own perception of the world.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, because I think people like Sagittarius in general they can be very easy flowing, but yet there's also kind of a dogmatic sign too. Because that's like, I think a couple that who is it? I think it was like Billy Graham maybe, and couple of the big time like preachers and stuff were Sages also, and a lot of great teachers and stuff were Sag. Like my favorite astrologer and my favorite comedian, and tons of people that are Sages are big influences on me. And it's like, but yet there's still that thing of sometimes just they get on a roll, and you've got to you got to slow the roll a little bit and look at some of the things, because what may be true for them is, it's subjective. It may not necessarily be true for everyone.
Right.
I may connect with certain things they're saying more than others. I don't even know where I went with that. That was just I started with the thought again. The moon's in Virgo today, so my brain is overfiring.
It's overfiring. Is it?
Yeah, too many thoughts at once.
Is it aspecting your Pisces energy or no?
Oh, no, I'm kind of at the in-between part. The Mercury-Mars conjunction is square my Mercury, though, so that's part two. That's also part of the too many thoughts for one brain at a time. I may have to adopt a couple additional brains.
I'll give you mine. You can have it.
Okay. Well, we'll swap heads around for a little while and see if
that'll be wonderful. I think that will be great. Lauren will love it.
Yeah.
She won't know what to do with it. She'll be like,
I just have to watch this. Oh yeah, it's on the Mercury-Mars conjunction is on her ascendant, so
it's on my descendant. Yeah, it's right there. So
yeah.
I honestly really, it's funny.
It's all just too much right now.
Yeah. So, okay, well, when we move into more through December, mid-December, Mars and Capricorn. Mars is happy in Capricorn, right? Like
Capricorn is one of those signs that I used to hate it. I used to dislike Moon and Capricorn, Sun, all of it. I used to hate it. And then as I got older, I started liking it a lot more, because there was a little bit more stability and things to it, and I was able to successfully get a lot more things done when things were in Capricorn. And then in 2020, when we had the ginormous Capricorn stellium, then I hated it again, because that was the worst transit in human history.
Oh my God.
Any time period, freaking Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Pluto, all in Capricorn.
I have a cat that was born, I don't know exactly when, but I found her in like the end of March. Maybe it was beginning of April, but and that's my Luna cat, and she's the weirdest.
Was she little?
Oh, she was baby. She was just born. I found her in my mom's yard. Okay. She is, I tell her all the time, like, she's Luna, but she's not like my other cats. I've never had a cat like her before. She's the general of the house, even when she's little. And I had a general already. She's passed now, but she's so odd. She won't eat with the other cats. I have to feed her in the other room. She won't cuddle. It's cold. Everybody comes and lays on me. All three cats. But the fourth cat is her. She won't do that. She will not have that. The only time, and this is such a weird thing, but the only time she'll let me hold her and she'll purr is when I'm sitting on the toilet. Like, I'm not even kidding you. I'll go to the bathroom. She follows me in there. She's walking through my feet as I do my business, and then she's like wanting me to pick her up. So I'll finish my business, sit back on the toilet, and hold her, and she'll purr. And I'm like holding her, I'll pet her. If I leave the door open or whatever, and the other cat comes and sees it, she leaves pissed off, like, and I'm like, really? Like, what is your thing? And anybody that goes in my bathroom is always like, your cat's in there with me. I'm like, I know, just shoo her out. She's a little weirdo. I don't understand it, but she's Pluto Saturn. She's my Pluto Saturn Jupiter Mars cat. Because that was like, I don't know her exact birthday because I found her, you know, but her age was, and she was like not even 2 pounds when I found her. And I want to say it was the beginning of April. So she was little. And I was like, I'm like looking at her when I pick her up because my mom's like, oh, I have a cat. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I'll just look at her. Right. And I'm like, oh, I look at her and I'm like, I have 5 cats now at the time. I'm like, great, you know, but she's just a little, I love her. I tell her she's my familiar all the time because she's strange. And I kind of feel like I'm a little bit on the strange side, not in all the best ways, not in any bad way, but it's just weird. I've never met a cat like that before. But I've trained her to do things like help me make the bed. So when I say that, she comes running up and she won't get into the bed unless it's made, but she'll watch me. I'll make the bed and then she'll jump in it. I'm like, what happened here? She's just an interestingly strange cat. But yeah, I think that was the worst transit in the human history too. Because like Saturn and Pluto made things change, and then Jupiter came along and made it massive, and Mars came along and inflamed the living daylights out of it. And everybody knows what 2020 was like.
Yeah.
It affected everyone on Earth. Like, I don't think anybody is the same for after that. Like,
I mean, even like you look back to like, you know, the Black Plague and stuff, you know, but people were not connected then. Like, yeah, I mean, that killed a lot of people and stuff, but there are entire parts of the world that were not touched by that.
Right, because they just weren't.
Right, we didn't have all the interconnectedness, which is nice sometimes, but also it's when there's, you know, that makes bad things easier to spread too.
It does, yeah. It's wild when that happens. So it does. Because exactly, people. I remember I did a workshop with the NCGR down here, and it was like, I think it was February 22nd, and I had a cold, and it was just when people were starting to get sick, and I'm like, oh, I just had a runny nose, and it was like sneezing, and it was just a cold. I don't think it was anything more than that. And someone was like, did you travel? Where did you come from? Like, my house, like it's like around the corner, because it was, you know, at the university over here. But I'm like, and I knew things were going on, but I'm like, no, I don't have this. I don't feel like really bad. It was just a little cold. But yeah, I remember that. And then usually, like, I would go out to dinner with them, and they were like, you probably don't want to come out to dinner. And I'm like, yeah, I don't think I want to get too close to you guys, because I was there all day and I wasn't feeling good. But I'm like over there on the side of the room because I was doing the workshop, not too close to others. But yeah, it was wild. And then right after that, all hell broke loose, and it just felt like the world went on fire. Yeah. So strangeness happens.
So my original point was Capricorn.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna go back to. So yeah, so you hate Capricorn, you hate a Capricorn, you like them, and now you, I don't know, where are you at now?
And then, and then 2020 kind of ruined it. Now that like Pluto was gone and out of Capricorn, like I'm good with it. And that's colleagues, I have that Moon Jupiter midheaven stellium in Cancer. So that was that Pluto, Saturn, and Mars, that was just lethal for me on many levels. So now like I can enjoy Capricorn again. So like I actually like now that Pluto's out of there for good, I can like deal with it. But there's a 5-year period there.
Yeah, I mean,
whatever. 3.5 that I could not, like, Capricorn was on the shit list again.
I felt bad for the Capricorn people that were born, or not just born, but like, you know, have planets in that later degrees of Capricorn. I think it was 20 degrees when that conjunction happened. Was it 20 or 26? I don't know. It was 20 something.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like, it's affecting you if you have a planet in that area anyway, because those planets move so slow that it was just deeply affecting the, you know, people with planets in that area. So I felt, yeah, a lot of empathy for people with that. And now Pluto's in Aquarius. So maybe this is part of why technology is so quickly shifting.
Yeah. And like, the early degrees of Aquarius does not hit good in my chart, but it's still, it is infinite. It feels infinitely better than the Pluto and Capricorn. Because at least that, like, once Pluto gets past the first few degrees of Aquarius, I'm pretty clear for a good while from Pluto. But yeah, the first part of it just, but it's still, it's not nearly as bad as the Pluto at the end of Capricorn. I mean, you know, like Pluto at the beginning of Capricorn and stuff was fine, but that end part was just a hellish nightmare that's, you know, will never die probably. It's just
so Mars in Capricorn again. I mean, as Mars has had a couple trips in Capricorn since the 2020, but Mars going into Capricorn, what is your vibe on that? Like, what do you feel that is like?
So a couple things that I figured out is, I think that I probably on a day-to-day, I'm not saying that I work harder than anybody else, or that I get more done than anybody else, but I do think that I probably try to work at least a little bit on probably too many different things, like every single day that I expect myself to do. So I like that. I really don't like the chaotic kind of freewheeling energy, because I can't, like, it's too disruptive.
With Mars and Saturn.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you kind of like appreciate the Mars and Capricorn coming up.
Yes, because I like the more I can keep things on track, the more things I can, like, get done in a day. But when it's just a continual series of chaos and disruption and changing of plans, then yeah, I don't deal very well with that, really.
Yeah.
And some of it is I try to do too much, like, just on a daily basis every day. So
that makes sense. So that's Mars is in Capricorn for what, like a month or close to a month?
it should be
6 weeks.
It should be 6 weeks. Should be 6 weeks, and then you'll have Mars on your sun.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Right? Yeah.
Do you see my sarcasm?
Yeah,
it's gonna hit my moon with the Capricorn, 0 Capricorn moon, and then it's gonna hit the sun. Wonderful. That's so exciting.
So it's like couple days after your birthday.
Awesome.
So it's like, yeah. So like Mars 23rd. January 23rd is when Mars enters Aquarius.
Awesome. So it'll be conjunct Pluto too, so that'll be wonderful.
It'll be conjunct Pluto, and Mercury will be there too. So Mercury will be conjunct. So it'll be. We're gonna have a Sun, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Pluto, stellium.
I see that.
In early Aquarius.
Wow. And that is really literally hitting. Mars is on my sun. Mercury. Oh my gosh. Can't look at that chart. All those
Sun,
degrees are
Mercury,
like the degrees
Mars,
of my stellium too. It's like all the early degrees of my stellium. Yep.
yeah.
That's interesting. Yay! I know my other Aquarian person is excited about this. She's like, she can't wait, and she's the rolling of the eyes, Christina. I know. We're just, you must be loving it too. What day is it? So, okay, so well, right at the beginning, January 23rd, Mars is at 0 Aquarius. And then the Sun and Pluto are at 3, Mercury's at 4, Venus is at 7. That's just on the 23rd, but you know, as you know, they move around. So, yep. Yes, exciting. I can't remember what day your birthday is. I think it's the 28th or something, but I know it's close to time.
Hers is February 14th.
Oh, why? I don't know why I thought. Okay, yeah.
So she's she's a little bit clear.
Yeah. No, so then when we move on more in December 16th, Sun squaring Saturn, and that's exciting. And then the 20th, Sun squaring Neptune. So we have the Sun making its moves in these squares. So, oh, your stellium is all later degrees. Yeah, mine's the early. So between us, Christina, we are like hovering Aquarius. Like Pluto is going to just have fun with both of us. I'll get it first and you get it. All the energy. So yeah, I mean, okay, I'm gonna get out of January because I'm looking at January and my chart or my program. But yeah, Sun squares Saturn at 25 Sag and Pisces. Sun square Saturn, is that the list making one? No, that's Mercury Saturn.
Yeah, well, and then too that December 20th. Yeah, so you have. So you've got, I'm going to group those two because you got the Sun square Saturn, and then 4 days later it's the Sun square Neptune. So to me, so the Sun, so a square is an aspect that requires action or energy or movement. So the Sun is shining the spotlight on something, and then so what the Sun is square Saturn and Neptune, and even though the exact is 4 days apart, I mean they're both active on both of those days.
Yeah,
because they're that close together. So
that's so like
to me that's
really, and then midpoints happen. So it's like it's there. You're just getting
the fastest the Sun moves. I mean, those are both. So to me, that when you have a Sun square anything, it's spotlighting where you're off or where your perceptions need changed or where where you need to make changes, or that being in context with Saturn at the end of Pisces and Neptune in the last degree of Pisces. To me, this is these are deaths that need to happen, and so we only physically die once in a lifetime, but our thought patterns and our habits and preconceptions and ideals and stuff, we have many deaths in one lifetime, because it's just kind of, and two, Saturn or Sun square Saturn is showing the end of something. That's the end of that road. That's the end of that path. So that is a time to figure out so Saturn is rules, regulations, your how you have your life set up, your career, whatever. Saturn is the boundaries that you have your life set up. So having the sun square that should be showing most people, um, you should be seeing like, where do I need to make changes? Where do I need to and I think I said this last month too, that with all the outer planets, except for Pluto, which has been in Aquarius for a little bit, but
Right.
Saturn, Uranus, Neptune are all doing the retrograde, switching signs, getting ready to move into the masculine signs for the long haul. So, like, to me, I've had to, for one reason or another, I've had to change like everything, like since beginning of September, like everything has needed touched or addressed or tidied up or reorganized or whatever, just for many different circumstances have caused these. But I think a lot of this is to get people, as I've been saying for like probably this entire year, is this fall is about streamlining and reorganizing your life so that everything moves smoother. Because once we get into next February, we've got everything in the masculine signs except for Uranus, which is going to be in a couple more months before it moves into Gemini for the long term. This is all about, this is like a death rebirth period. Like, whatever you've not been able to get done to this last several years, you probably aren't going to get done. It's kind of a time. This is what can this is kind of, we're about to start a fresh point of what do you really want? What can you realistically get done? And knowing just how fast things are going to move. I mean, there's some things that are going to have to go, there's things you're just not going to have time for. The faster you can, the more you can streamline and get things running efficiently, the easier these next 2.5 years are going to be. But I've had to touch like everything in the last like 3 months and to reorganize it somehow.
And I mean that worked for you though, that it's helping. I guess you'll find out as time goes on, right?
Yeah, I mean, so far I think I can see where it's helping, and I think I know I'm definitely going to be set up much better for next year. But it's just anything that has been a weak point has removed itself for the most part.
Interesting. Wow. So Capricorn season is going to be an interesting time because that's just right before, I mean, the December 20th, I don't know the exact, oh, it's the 21st, the sun goes into Capricorn. So that's the solstice. So that's the shifting
Oh,
of the seasons again too. So that sun square Saturn and Neptune is just before the solstice itself.
yeah. I guess the sun square Neptune part is the same thing as the sun square Saturn, except with like spiritual stuff. So it's like, what part of your religious philosophy are you finding does not really work anymore? Or what have you been waiting for spiritually that looks like it's never going to happen? Or where can you be more pragmatic and less, where do you feel you've been deceived or had a victim mentality? the Sun square Neptune is the time to weed out like the spiritual stuff that is just like leftover garbage that's been hanging around. And, think like, forget how I was raised or what I believed in or whatever. Like now, like what seems real to me now, just like spiritually and, too, just like, Sun square Neptune can just be like trying to remove old negative repeating patterns out of your brain. That to me is another kind of a Sun square Neptune thing. Like where am I always playing the victim? Where am I always putting myself in a bad position? That's all like Pisces guilt complex type stuff that probably needs to go.
That's a good point. And that is right at the end of Pisces, at 29 Pisces. So yeah. And Pisces and Sag, of course. Wait, Pisces and Sag, it's a square, right? Oh yeah. I don't know what I'm thinking. That's right. I thought there was, I don't know what I thought. Yeah, and then the sun moves into Capricorn on the 21st, so it's right after that, and there's Capricorn.
And that's and that too. It's just look at the symbolism there. You have Sun square Neptune, with Neptune at the last degree of the zodiac, and then December 21st is like, that's the dying of the light. That's the darkest day of the year.
Right.
The day after that Sun Neptune square. And then after the 21st, then the eternal darkness that we live in November and December, because it gets dark at 5 o'clock.
Right.
That's when we start getting a couple more minutes of light every day.
Right.
Which I always kind of thought was, I mean, I know that's how it is, but I always thought that was kind of dumb. That like the first day of winter is when it starts getting more light.
Right. It's
and then June 20th or 21st, which is the first day of Cancer, first day of summer, is actually when it starts getting darker. I'm like, who came up with this?
Like maybe the season should be like one back or something.
What clowns run in the circus that day? Like it's it seems like it should be opposite.
Yeah, that does actually make sense. It seems like it should be the opposite, but it's, clearly we didn't make this up. It just happens. I get why, because it's the turning of the season and it has the astronomical,
Right.
the tropical zodiac and everything. But you're right, the names of the season, it's a little bit strange. I don't know why that happens. Fall is my favorite season, though.
There's another crappy analogy for the Mercury and Sagittarius. Is like on the other side of the world, like here, June 21st is the first day of summer, but in Australia, June 21st is the first day of winter, because they're exact opposite of us.
Right.
So their winter is our summer, and our summer is their winter. So that's where, again, two people, different places, can say opposite things, but they're both correct.
Yeah, that's the weird part. Yeah.
Sorry, you started saying something when I jumped over you there.
No, I was just thinking about what you were saying. It's like the difference in how things do end up shifting in that light. And the light literally starts becoming more during that Capricorn season. I don't know. So what's the verdict? Do you like Capricorn now? Because Venus goes into Capricorn then on the 24th.
Yeah. So there's a, do I want to go? I don't know if people are going to be able to handle that today. So that's the funny thing too, is that you have Venus going into Sometimes the things that should be silent in my head come out of my mouth. And so,
I
so
understand.
sometimes I'm negotiating with myself out loud. That's why that happens.
I always say I'm talking to the cats, so I don't know. Like, that's just my excuse, but there's no cats in here. Is there? I don't know.
So here, here's the very short astrotheology, Jordan Maxwell. Um, so December 21st is the solstice. That's first day of winter. And then you had, so that's the dying of the light. And then to put that in religious context, or I guess Christian context, you have the December 25th. Historically, it was Jesus's birthday, even though we all know that one's not right. But then you have the I'm sorry, the solstice is the 21st, first day of winter, and then the 25th, which is really like 3 days after that, that's the rebirth. That's Jesus's birthday. But it's 3 days after, and then in the Bible, Jesus died and then came back from the dead 3 days after. So like the 25th is really like 3 days after the 21st.
Mm-hmm.
It's the fourth day, but there's 3 days in between. So there we kind of have that again, where there's Venus starts a new cycle. Venus starts its winter cycle, 0 Capricorn, 3 days after the solstice. And so, yeah. And so that's, Christmas Eve. Then we have Venus entering Capricorn. That doesn't work out that way every year because of the Venus and Mercury transits. But
Right.
I don't even know what my point was with that. But I just noticed there was 3 days difference between those, so I had to throw in my little Jordan Maxwellism there.
I don't know who that is. Who's Jordan Maxwell?
He died a couple years ago. He's probably one of the greatest, maybe the greatest researcher into like maritime law, like kind of the law of the seas, maritime law, kind of like what our society is kind of built on. A lot of our phrases in everyday language come from the law of the seas.
Interesting.
He's got 5,000 hours of video out there on YouTube if they haven't taken them down. But
oh, why would they take them down for a reason?
Well, yeah, I mean, some of them they were taking down. He gets into he does a lot of astrotheology where it's finding the origins of words and where like the Bible and astrology actually meet up.
Interesting.
And things like that. Yeah. If you want a good watch or listen, you should be able to go to YouTube and search Jordan Maxwell, Admiralty law, maritime law, that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
It gets into the straw man thing and all of that.
yeah, I just Googled it and there's a ton of stuff. I'm obviously can't watch it, but right now while we're talking, but yeah, that's
Right.
interesting. Interesting. So someone new for me to investigate.
Yeah. He used to be on like Coast to Coast AM a lot and stuff like that. And he died a couple years ago, 3 or 4 years ago. He died right shortly after 2020.
Oh, interesting. Interesting. Well, it's sad when that, yeah, wow. Yeah, it says March 23rd, 2022. So yeah, he was. If
Yeah.
that's the right guy, yeah.
Yeah, that seems right. He was
Yeah,
yeah,
and he was. Oh, so he was promoting theories about hidden religious. This is from Wikipedia.
yes, that is correct.
And Wikipedia's Wikipedia. We don't put a lot of
Yes.
weight into Wikipedia,
That's
or
correct.
anything online for that matter. But religious symbolism, secret societies, and conspiratorial world control. Ooh,
Yeah.
he sounds like my kind of guy. Where's
He
1984 at? Hold on.
he is a veritable endless pit of knowledge.
Interesting. Well, I'll definitely investigate him a little more. So that's cool.
Yeah.
To learn about someone new, and sounds like he's someone I would be interested in.
Oh yeah, no, it's fascinating.
Yeah. So, well, winding up December, any final thoughts about December and how December will be rolling for the majority of it? I mean, it feels like December is a shift.
I'm going to say that the first 15 days are going to be pretty much confusing and absolute chaos. Then it's going to the second half is going to be much calmer.
Mm-hmm.
Just try not to try not to spend every dollar you have on Christmas presents when we have the 4 planets in Sag. Try to have just a little bit of self-restraint.
I always thought that was interesting because that's what if Capricorn and Sag were flipped, right? Capricorn was first and there's still the energies of each. People aren't going to be spending a bunch of money on Christmas stuff. They're going to be more frugal, right? Because Capricorn's not frivolous like Sagittarius is. It's more like,
right.
hey, let's throw caution to the wind and whatever. I like that energy, but at the same time, it's like you have to still be with your wits. But yeah, it's interesting. And then Capricorn comes around and it's like, okay, now we have to pay for all that Sagittarius stuff.
Right. No, I mean, look, Virgo, Capricorn, and Taurus all follow the fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sag. So they all have to, the earth signs have to clean up after the fire signs parties, like all the time. That comes after the the heavy duty party signs. You get the earth signs to.
That's a good point. That's a really good point. Yeah. Wow. Well, that will be interesting. It'll be interesting to see what happens and unfolds as we go through the month of December. Sounds like the end of the month will be a little better than the beginning, a little easier than the beginning.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I think it should be much calmer the second half. And in theory, we should do our what's the next year? 2026 preview. We should do middle or end of December when I'll have to get my 2026 book with the minutia in it. And
Yeah. What book do you get? I haven't gotten a book in a few years. I used to get I think the same one you get, but then they stopped making it or something and I just skipped a year and then I just never went back to that.
they stopped. I get that Llewellyn Daily Planetary Guide.
Yeah, that one. I love that book. I have so many years of it, just old years, and then I just stopped.
And I've got the last 8 or 9 years. I keep them because I have so many notes and stuff in them.
Same.
And it's a lot easy. I mean, I've got my hard copy, 50, 100-year ephemeris.
Right.
But when you're trying to look back at a certain event or something, having the moon void courses and all that other stuff laid out very easily to read is, for me, that's invaluable.
Right. I agree. And I do love the computer. Obviously, the software has all that stuff in it too. But there's something about, and that's maybe my old school side speaking, but about having a tangible book to go look at. It's just different. It's a different thing. And what happens if the power ever goes out or we don't,
Right.
I don't know.
I mean, I've got three different things. I got the serious software, the big ephemeris, and then the daily guide. So whatever I'm trying to look for, I can use whichever one of those is gonna give me the closest information to what I'm looking for.
Yep.
And that way it's kind of
in one of my classes I was teaching
it's there, and
the transits, and that one person didn't actually know how to use an ephemeris. So it was kind of interesting. I was like, wow, this is interesting, just because the computers make us a little spoiled, I think.
I see so many people post wrong stuff. Like, and I don't mean like philosophically wrong. I mean just like wrong dates and stuff like that. And it's like, I know they don't have a physical ephemeris, they just have an app. And if that's all you miss too much stuff.
Yeah.
When you I mean, to me, the best way to learn astrology is to take, the hard copy. Do I even have? I don't know where the new ephemeris is. It's downstairs. But still, you take the hard copy of the ephemeris and you just have a copy of your chart. You look through, hey, I got married this day. I got fired from a job this day. My parent died this day. My dog died, got a new job. You just look through and see where how you like figure it out and cement it in your brain how stuff works.
Yeah, because I think and that's a good point. And that what I think happens with astrologers is we go through the transits that happen to everybody as we go through our lives. We understand them differently because we've been through them. So I think that also it kind of speaks to that as well. I've had my Saturn return, I've had my Uranus opposition, I've had my Chiron, it's like I understand those feelings because I've been through them, that the personal experience has some weight there because you get it, you've been there. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Well, this was fun.
Yeah.
We'll look forward to 2026. We'll see what happens there.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yes.
No doubt.
All right. Well, thanks, Mark, as always. Is there anything else you want to share?
No, I think that was just probably the last summation is you have from now until, mid-February, I think it is, to
get yourself
fix or streamline anything that's a problem now is really going to be a problem after that. So try to, and you're not going to fix everything, but try and get everything you can, adjust your senses and needs to you have to look at long-term sustainability. So what can you long-term, how can you operate, and what's going to fix things and make things run more smoothly, because it's just going to go 2026 and 2027 are just going to be gone in the blink of an eye. Oh,
this is my Luna. This is the one. She heard me talking about her earlier. She's like, you talked about me. You know what though? I started giving her catnip, and she's like been much more loving. Now she's like, where's the nip, yo?
Yeah.
I have two cats that do not even care about catnip. They look at it, they're like, what is this? You gypped me. I want my treats, because sprinkle it on the ground. Her and the baby Soul, they go nuts over it. They're rolling around like typical, but two cats do not care. Right. They're just like, we're too good for that. I don't know. Yes, she's my sweet girl. My little Moonies. All right. Well, we'll wind this up, of course, and we'll see everybody. Thanks for watching, you guys. And yeah, Christina asked if that's a Llewellyn book. It is a Llewellyn book that you had.
Yes.
Yep.
And also on that same note, they used to make a small one of called the pocket astrologer. You could put in your whatever, your purse or your wallet, your pants or whatever. They had stopped making that for a couple years, but I saw this year they have it available again.
That's the one I had a lot of, and then I got the one you had for a couple years, and I was just like, I stopped for a minute, but I want to get another one because I really miss having that on my desk,
Yeah, the pocket one is easier to be mobile. With.
Yeah, and I like that you can take notes in it. In each thing has like a little entry. I don't know if the pocket one does, but like the one you have, it has like a little space where you can write notes next to the transits, right?
Oh, well, we've got, I've got, I'm stupid.
Yeah.
See, that's it. Exactly. We just put all of our stuff in here so that, we both write in there. And then, so any appointments, dates, whatever, anything that's going on, it's all right there. It's all right there in the ephemeris, and we got the dates, and if we have to plan anything, we can just, and it just stays on the desk there.
That makes sense. That makes sense. I guess the dog wants to come out too. She see the
he's getting a little bit rowdy. I don't know what he's playing with the sister.
Cute.
What are you two dorks doing?
I like being dogs. Being dogs. Typical dogs. Ah, they're adorable. You have 3?
Oh, 2.
2. Oh, and they wear clothes.
The Leo has to have a coat because she can't handle the cold.
Oh my God! Did I even tell you about my boy, my baby boy? He's born in April, so he's not even a year. He has this felt, like, that string that goes onto like a wand, and it's like the wand broke off, and this was like a toy from years ago, probably when Luna was a baby, and she's 5. So it's just this long string. He is so funny. He sees it on the ground and he rolls around until he gets it on his back. And then he's got it on his back and he is strutting through the house like he's a king. And I'm like, bro, you got your coat on. And he's like, and then he'll like look and see the piece following him. Sometimes he has one side in his mouth, sometimes. And then he starts chasing it. And then he's like going in a tornado. And then he'll like catch it. And then he'll stop. It's like a cat chasing his tail, only it's this felt thing on his back. And then he'll drop it or he'll catch it. And then he'll start walking. And then he'll see it on the other side. And I'm like, I crack up. I'm like, it's the funniest thing. I've never seen a cat do that before. That's my little soul, my soul beams. Cats crack me up. It's hysterical. Oh boy.
They're funny.
Animals are sweet. I love them. They're great. Great little companions.
Yeah, most of the time.
Yeah, they make me get out of bed. I've no choice. Like they'll start. Soul does I'm gonna start making biscuits on you because I'm hungry. Saturn will just come up and tap my eyes. I'm like, dude, I'm sleeping. I don't care. I'm hungry. Like just tapping, not like hurting or anything, but like what make those things open so I can get up. Yeah, my girls don't care. They're sleeping or whatever, but yeah. Funny.
Causing destruction somewhere else.
Yes, that's exactly it. All right, so we'll see you next month.
Okie doke. Thanks for watching.
Yes, thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.
Yay!